Oksana is going to Ukraine tomorrow, and we want to get as much diesel there as we can so that eventually we can go to Kiev and back. Okay, so Oksana's going to Ukraine. She's taking all the fuel, which is in here. And also, she's taking a full bag of salt. Now, why in the world about you want to take a bunch of salt to Ukraine? Aren't there salt mines? Yes, there are salt mines in Ukraine. Guess where they are? They're in eastern Ukraine. That's where the war is happening. So Oksana's dad asked if we could bring some salt.
So this time, I'm driving our small car, as you see, because the van is too big to drive just a few little items. The main things I have is the solar panel that got laid with Nastya, the girl that brought 16 suitcases. I took a train to Krakow, and the girl from Warsaw took the train to Krakow as well, and we met in Krakow, and she gave me 3 packages. Well, the second item that I'm bringing is Starlink. Starlink, oh poor Starlink. The box arrived very, very damaged. They opened it up, I think everyone who wanted just to look at it, and hopefully everything will work because it's been everywhere. The Starlink for a girl whose husband is at the front, and this is for their team. And I have another package that is for the guy who we know, and he now is the press at the war zones area, or the person who does documentary things. So somebody sends him a camera, and I need to ship it to him by Nova Poshta this time. Our favorite bridge, they are finally doing something to it. They were very suspicious of what I'm bringing because I said I have humanitarian help, and they're like, what is this? It's not humanitarian help. And then they turned me around and told me to print out the document. I always come with the document, but it's always in my phone. But this time they told me, nope, you need to have a printed version and every item possible mentioned in the document. I went to an apartment where we're renting next to the border, and thankfully Aaron has a printer. So we got a printer when we did the documents for the van. Our friend in Ukraine, Lorichka, made us a fresh document saying what exactly is in the car, and I came again. And for sure they didn't like my diesel in the beginning. All the diesel that we filled up yesterday, I took only 20 liters. Next time I will be more prepared. I've got 3 guys helping me. So useful.
Это все?
На сегодня все.
На сегодня все. I mean, just one.
So we have Beth and Paige here. They brought things for Ukrainians who are here. So thank you so much for you guys, for your work, and for going through all the border crossing and border checks that you did. And the things with the help of Lyosha and his friend. We packed it up in this car, and now it's gonna go to the base, and it will be delivered to the guys at the front. Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. Glad we could do it.
Kelly has looked everywhere for Jack. Что случилось?
Вона подивилася в
Got a few items, few things that were sent. All of this. Yay, helmets. Bath and Paige Williams, they brought a few suitcases over from Atlanta, and they came to do some other ministries with our friends who are organizing the food supplies and working with refugees and things like that. So they're going to do this. I'm going to unpack everything and see what's inside and take pictures of everything and separate little packages for different people that was already for different people assigned and ordered for. Ти хто?
Аделіна.
Ти хто?
Аделіна.
А хто ти ще?
Я дівчинка.
Ти дівчинка, скільки тобі років, дівчинка?
Майже 11.
А скільки тобі рочків? Скільки тобі рочків? Ой! Все, побігли. So I came to the border, and Nastya brought me to the border right here. She gave me a ride. It was 3 hours drive. It will be my first time walking by foot through the Polish border. Wish me luck.
Мій тато був поляк, боровся за вільну Україну. Працював зв'язковим, носив листи, і його здали, його засудили на 10 років в тюрмі. Була амністія, як мер Сталін, і він відсидів 8 років в тюрмі, вернувся додому, женився на моїй мамі, він вже женився, взяв маму з 2 дітьми. Ну і ще нас було 3. Поставили будинок, ну все було добре. Його батьки жили на Україні. І він це в Україні вродив, але по національності поляк, бо батьки були поляком. Страшно.
До Першої війни. А от територія то все українська.
Так.
Аж до самого
Так,
міста
так,
Санок.
так.
Тут жили українці, поляків було, там село, там де я їду, 12 родин тільки польських було по селах, 10-12.
Полякам віддали то, а наші взяли поляки. І дотепер рахують, що Львів то є польське місто.
So we're hiking up there. Aaron likes to come here. And look who are there.
So we're leaving our adopted hometown of Usterki Dolny in southeastern Poland and heading towards Warsaw. But on the way we will spend the night in Lublin with our friends who are Belarusian, and we used to see them almost every week. But now we haven't seen them since the war started. They are also doing something to help Ukraine, so we'll see what they're up to. So we made it up to Przemysl on the way to Lublin. You can see this massive, massive line, and we're still like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 8 kilometers from the border. And this is where the trucks go through. That takes a long time, which is why we always go to the border that doesn't have truck crossings, and it's way, way faster.
And this is because we deprecated QI.
These are garages in Lublin. So all the apartment buildings up here, like this one, you can buy a separate garage and you can park in front of it. You also have room inside where you can pull your car in and work on it too, or store your junk. It's kind of cool.
This is my Danek concentration camp near Lublin.
So our Belarusian friends who we live next to in Ukraine work now for this Convoy of Hope, some big organization, and they bring stuff over from the US and they bring it here to Lublin, and then eventually they take it into Kiev and further all the way to the front, and it's more about feeding people than about military stuff.
Вот как раз эти генераторы, с которыми сейчас разбираюсь.
And you're sending these to people who don't have electricity.
Yeah.
And these are 110 volts, you said, so you're converting them to 220 volts.
Actually, they have outlet with 240 volts also, but
I see.
we burned the refrigerator
Oh yeah.
a week ago.
Yeah.
So we need to understand how with what equipment it's better to use.
Okay, so you're changing the voltage that it outputs there.
I thought it is possible, so I try to do different researches. Another accumulator with 12 volts from here.
Like
also.
a car battery.
From here, yeah. Like battery with 12 volts, which we can later use to get 220 volts.
I see.
Using some equipment.
Yeah, and these were donated by people in the US.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And how many of them are, did you say that are here?
110, I think.
110, wow. So this is the warehouse?
Yeah.
There's nobody here. Where is everyone? Oh yeah, there's the generators. Wow, that's a lot of generators. And everything else here is food and diapers and...
Some medicals, yes. Some else. Some more here.
Cool. So this is a video of how the stuff that's sent from this location gets to the final destination. And this is in Sumy?
Yeah, this is one of the trucks from Sumy. I have multiple hub churches in every oblast. That will be responsible for an entire region. If we're looking at a new area, if we need a hub church, we just call different denominations, ask who their best church in that region is. There's a whole application they have to fill out regarding reporting, and they have to sign it and send it back to us. We know what they've already received where they've been distributing. They receive the truck. They have to get video, photographs, receiving what they received. We match it up with the bill of lading of what went out. We give them 10 days from when they receive it. We expect it within about 2 weeks. There was one church that got overexcited. They just basically opened containers, had people throw everything in there, closed them up and shipped them. The problem is there's no packing list. So they arrived to Poland. Polish customs said, what's in there? They said, we have no idea. Polish customs said, we won't accept it. So you have two options, either just destroy it or send it back. You know, all the farmers are still planting. The grain that they would normally be exporting, they can't export. Normally they're shipping everything down to Odessa. They're not. Well, all that grain is just sitting there. Same thing with potatoes. There's massive amounts of extra potatoes all over in Ukraine. I mean, everyone in Zakarpattia has a cellar that still has X amount of. When they're done planting, they're still going to have X amount left. So you know, you can buy potatoes in Ukraine. If it can't get shipped out at the end of summer, if the granaries are still full, there won't be anywhere to put the new grain. And so you have to use it. I mean, you have to ship it or you use it.
What's in here, Oksana?
Got some goodies.
So they had a couple extra filters, and we had noticed some people right at the front that are drinking really bad water, and they wanted to know if we could get them some water cleaning stuff. So we happened to have some extra. So thank you guys. Mackenzie. Right?
Hi.
Hey. And this is the distribution center in Lublin, Poland, and from here things go to Ukraine. Right?
Yes, that is correct.
And so stuff from here comes from the US, or where does it come from?
So there are things in this warehouse that have come from the US. Stuff has come from Italy, Ecuador, I believe.
Whoa, wow.
But we're also doing a lot of local food purchasing from vendors here in Lublin. And so that way we're also helping the local economy here in Poland as they've accepted a lot of refugees.
Yes, yeah. Like, who is it going to exactly in Ukraine? Like,
so it is going to a bunch of different distribution hubs. From there, it's going out to areas that are harder to reach, but it's primarily going to churches in Ukraine, and they're spreading it out to members of their community. All kinds of denominations.
Okay.
Yeah. It was early March that our first team landed in Lublin. They also were able to find this warehouse. I wasn't on the first team, but I was on the second team.
Okay, and you're from Missouri?
Yes, Springfield.
Okay.
Yes. So I work for Convoy of Hope. It is my day job, and I'm on the International Disaster Services team. So right now, including the crisis in Ukraine, we have about 30 other responses.
Wow.
Started when the invasion happened. Convoy of Hope knew that we had to do something, and we also have a disaster preparedness and mitigation training. Tanzania, Brussels, Guatemala, the Philippines. We would like to be here for quite some time. We're looking into the possibility of more long-term initiatives in Ukraine, like agriculture and that sort of things. Harvest and plant. There will probably be a global impact from the war just because so much wheat and oil is exported from Ukraine. Places like Lebanon and Somalia, for example, they get 90% of their wheat from Ukraine. With the war there now, planting and harvesting will be interrupted. There will be a domino effect around the world in the global food market.
You think Convoy of Hope will send food to those places you mentioned?
We are working in various locations. If you take Lebanon, for example, there was already a crisis there because of hyperinflation, but the war in Ukraine has made those situations even worse. And the same with Somalia, Kurdistan.
Well, this is really cool because what Oksana and I have been doing is just we have this small van and we can carry like 1.5 to 2 tons maximum, and you guys are taking in like hundreds of trucks that can carry like 20 tons at a time. And so the scale of this and the number of people that you're feeding is just really, really impressive. So thank you for your work. It's really cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
So they've sent something like 2,200 tons of stuff already into Ukraine from this warehouse. What is this? Macaroni. Different kind of macaroni. From Italy. Oats. Cliff bars. Круто.
Ми налаштовуємось на довгу працю. Я думаю, що це не місяць, не два і не рік. Моє відчуття внутрішнє, що це надовго.
So David, who we used to stay with here in Warsaw, has some stuff for us. What do you got here, David?
Sorry, this is all found in the trash.
In trash?
Yeah,
giving trash to Ukraine?
We got basically a full kitchen of pots and pans here, which is going to be super useful for displaced people. I can say, as a displaced person myself,
yeah,
it is super useful.
Yep. Otherwise, you got to buy it.
That's right. Yeah.
Looks good enough to me. I'd use it.
We've got a baby bath here for infants and little ones.
Okay.
Like a juicer, it's a meat grinder, a steamer, a vegetable steamer as well.
And does it work? Did you try it?
No.
Yeah. Okay. We'll try. Giving us some old junk that doesn't work.
Oksana did it. She took it.
Okay, blame it on the wife.
That's
good.
right.
That's what I do too. Yeah, other Oksana, there's two Oksanas.
Yeah,
this one.
In here, there's all kinds of good stuff. I think there's like thermal vision in there and stuff. And
we'll take that.
Yeah, and a bunch of other goodies as well. So this is going to the anthill, and the rest is going to wherever you deem fit. So
we'll take it there too.
All right, let's get it done then.
Sweet.
This is our come back to Kyiv file, you know.
How many liters do one of these hold?
20.
Approximately 240 if we fill it all up. So this is the housing development that David lives in temporarily here in Warsaw, Poland. And I like that it's safe enough where you can leave your stroller in the entrance here and the door open and no one steals it. There are some places in Ukraine where it's like that, but not everywhere. So David is giving his old stroller. We know this girl who fled from Mariupol, and actually her husband was in Azovstal, and now he's in prison under control of the Russians, and they have a kid, a small one, and they need a stroller.
It's really good, right? So holds like that, and like that, and it's good to go. And then it comes off like that when you need to store it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it's free, thanks to you.
And it's free.
Thank you for the donation.
You're very welcome.
It will be used.
Идем с Дэвидом на мусорку, чтобы нам найти что-то
interestingkaya. So right now we have a love seat upstairs that's in wonderful condition that we found in the trash. Some of the mattresses that many of our guests sleep on we found in the trash also. That's a good thing. Most of our kids' toys. I'm sure there was some other stuff.
Okay, let's see what's here.
A mattress. Oh.
It's kind of old.
Yeah.
All camera equipment.
Okay, so we just picked up Dustin, and he had some trouble checking in. So
I'll fast forward the unsuccessful battle I had with Polish Airlines where they charged me $1,000 for my bags. They said as long as you're there 15 minutes prior to departure, it won't leave without you. Dripping sweat, sprinting to the gate. It's 17 minutes prior to departure, and I get there. All of a sudden, the second I turn around, I hear, "Will Dustin Ross please come to the check-in counter?" So I'm like, maybe they feel bad because they just charged me $1,000 on bag fees. They're gonna give me a better seat or something. But then I see the woman who I had just gotten in a fight with, and I was like, this isn't gonna be good. So I go to start saying something, and they just point, and there's two guys that pull out a badge, and they're like, you need to come with us.
Because what do you have in your bags that you checked?
There's a lot of shit in there, and they're hammering me with questions, like not smiling. What's in your bag? Where's it going? Like, what's your plan? Are you carrying anything illegal? They're like interrogating me for 15 minutes. And halfway through the conversation, they're like, what are you doing here? And I just kind of told them my story and like how I'm trying to help. And they're like, that's fucking awesome, man. Like, and we just spent 45 minutes like talking about what's going on in Ukraine, and like, they're like, all right, you should probably get on the plane. And like the whole plane was just waiting for me. Because I was just like having a conversation with these guys. It was crazy.
Are you recording already? It's so far away on the camera though, it's not cool to see that.
I'll zoom.
Okay, we're repacking Dustin. He brought all this good stuff. And he's gonna go across the border in Ukraine. Our friends are gonna pick him up on the other side and they'll take him further.
So we just crossed the border with Dustin. He did awesome.
Made it across.
And we have all guys right there waiting for us. Да, пап. Ребята за нами приехали. Молодцы, ребята. 3 часа дороги. Как вам Не знаю, горы. Красиво, правда?
Да, нет, так мы ж вроде в таких же.
So Dustin приехал. Across the border. It's right there. Молодец, Dustin. Окей, хлопцы, иди.
Презент.
О, yeah.
А может ты и прав, может зайти сюда? Это что, вопрос, а зачем они нам? Или это...
Это я потом отправлю дальше.
US customs, Polish customs, Ukrainian customs.
Yeah.
Туда наверх и вот так вот будем складывать. 90 Парижем дизелем. Возимо в баклажках з Польщі. Бо будемо вже це. Дякуємо Польщі за дизель.
Pots for refugees. The stroller for a girl from Mariupol. And her baby. Все, спасибо, ребят. Пока. So the guys left. Good. We floated. That was so easy. The guys helped to pack the van. I was doing nothing. That was so good. I can just film. So I'm going back again into Poland. There's the lady coming and I need to bring her to Lviv whenever she arrives. So this is the next time I'll be in Ukraine.